Today we have a guest who is Emmanuel Dickerson from Better You, Better Society. He has a fitness and wellness program that he uses and utilizes, and he has a great social media following. He has a great brand, and he's also a photographer as well. So all-around entrepreneur, and he's going to talk to us today about marketing, branding, and some public speaking pointers.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Emmanuel Dickerson Jr., named after my father, the great Emmanuel Dickerson Sr., born and raised in Long Island, New York. All right, today I'm going to be speaking to you guys about owning a crowd, public speaking, branding, and proper social media etiquette. So first, we're going to start off with owning a crowd. So I've been speaking in public now for about maybe 5-6 years. The first time I did it, well, my dad's a pastor, so he invited me to speak out at a church. Now, initially, I was like super nervous. And I was like, I'm going on YouTube, looking up ways to get over the nervousness, looking up different tips that I can utilize to give a good presentation. And something very interesting that I came across was practice and preparation. Preparation meaning, write notes, go over your material. And the second thing is practice your presentation for two reasons. One, you get a better grip on the information. And two, you practice being in front of people, you practice presenting. So that definitely helps out. A few things that I would do would be, I would go to my gym and I would go in a sauna, and it'd be random guys that would come in there, and I would just be like, hey, can you just listen to me present this sermon real quick? I just need 5 minutes of your time. Yeah, so I would do that, and I would be nervous to speak in front of these strangers. They weren't from my age group. They weren't from a demographic that I was used to speaking to. So it's practicing amongst different groups. Eventually, it kind of just got me used to being nervous and speaking anyway. When it comes to public speaking, I don't think that there will ever be a time when, me personally, I don't get nervous before I have to present. But one thing that I've learned is if you can take it, you can make it. If you can be scared and nervous and still go up there and just start, sometimes within a second, the nervousness goes away. Sometimes it takes maybe 5-10 minutes, then the nervousness goes away. But if you can just get in there, and if you've prepared, then chances are you will give a good presentation. A lot better than if you didn't prepare at all. The next thing is embrace anxiety. So for me, I've done some research on anxiety, and Tony Robbins, right? He said that your body reacts the same way. So he said basically that anxiety is really excitement and energy, but it's just with fear. So if we drop the fear, then we're just excited and we are energetic. And for me, sometimes my most powerful days are the days when I do something that kind of frightens me a little bit. When I wake up in the morning and I tell myself, all right, I'm going to run 5-10 miles today. I'm going to do a crazy workout, or I'm going to ask out that girl that, is beautiful and I'm a little nervous to speak to her. When I do stuff like that, those are the days that are the most memorable to me. So I would say fall in love with things that make you nervous. Fall in love with the things that give you a little bit of anxiety, that make your heart beat a little bit faster. It's life-changing. The next thing is yell. I like to yell to kind of channel the energy. So there have been some times when I've been super nervous, and I would just go up in front of the audience and I would yell out loud, or I'd have everybody yell with me. And that's a great way to kind of get you out of your nerves if the nervousness is something that's super unbearable for you. The next thing is hype yourself up before you present. That was hype yourself up before you present. Another one from Tony Robbins is he would talk about getting himself in a peak state of mind, like jumping around and moving, sort of like a rapper right before he goes on stage, or a boxer before he goes into the ring. You get your body mobile, and that helps you kind of I guess, get out of like that tense state of mind that you may or may not be in. And another mental trick that I like to use is view the crowd like my little brother. Now, what I mean by that is, think about somebody that you love, but you don't fear. You love this person, but you don't fear them. So if I look at everybody that I'm speaking to right now as my little brother, then I want the best for you. I want to give you the best information that I can give you, but I don't fear you. The last one, I got this one from my father, the great Emmanuel Dickerson Jr. He said, be confident in your ideas, be confident in your voice. Something that has really caused me a lot of pressure when it came time for me to speak before would be the thought that people would think, oh, you're just a kid. Like, what does he know? Like I said, when I first started speaking, it was about 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago. So I was 21, and I was speaking to a crowd that was a lot older than me. Crowd, people maybe in their 30s, 40s, 50s sometimes. And, sometimes I would feel like in their thoughts, they'd be thinking like, what does this kid know? Like, just talking. But learning to be confident in my voice and learning to be confident in my ideas has been something that has been truly beneficial. All right, so do we have any questions at all about owning a crowd or presenting?
Well, the students next week, they're going to be presenting to their assigned chef instructors. So I think one of the biggest issues that they're having is that because we're virtual, they have that freedom to be individuals. But I think they're going to seize up before we actually get into the presentation. So do you have any tips for them to calm themselves down? Well, I know like the shaking out and the yelling or whatever it might be are good tips, but these are teenagers. You know how teenagers have that extra anxiety. So
Yes. My question is, how can we catch the attention of our public without talking too much? Because sometimes you can feel like boring and some stuff like that.
Just throw some swag in there, try to be funny, throw a little joke in there now and then, talking too much. If you can talk too much, then you're good. Then I mean, nervousness is probably not too much of an issue for you. If you can talk too much, I'd rather that than you saying too little. So if talking too much is your issue, I would just say, just try to, say things that, try to write down bullet points. Try to write down the most impactful, piece of information. Say that, and then you can kind of say some things about that. Just don't talk too much about that one bullet point. Just say enough to explain and get the main idea across. But have fun with it. There's nothing wrong with, the people that are going to be interested in hearing what you have to say, they're going to value what you have to say. The people that are going to be bored, they're going to be bored. Don't overthink that too much. In terms of being nervous, like you think they're going to seize up, I would say maybe they should try to do as many Zoom calls as possible. Try to practice speaking in front of their friends, practice presenting in front of as many people as you can, especially the day of, because I can guarantee you, if you had to present right now, and then you presented, you were nervous and it was whatever, and then let's say 20 minutes after you presented, you had to present again, I guarantee you that second time would be a whole lot better. So sometimes you just got to do a practice run with some people that, make you nervous, get the nerves out. And then when it's time for your actual presentation, that'll go a whole lot smoother. So that's like the most practical piece of advice that I can give. Is there anything we can do to calm down nervousness? So to be honest with you, when it comes to public speaking, you will be nervous. There's no way around it. I have spoken hundreds of times in crowds of 1,000, hundreds, and I will get nervous if I have to speak in front of 2 people. you will get nervous. But what you want to do is you want to practice being nervous and presenting while you're nervous. Then eventually, maybe the nervousness will go away. Maybe it won't, but at least you will be able to present anyway. So my advice to you is to present as much as possible. If you have friends, you can call them on Zoom right now and have 2 friends on and you practice your presentation. But you want to embrace and step inside of the nervousness as much as possible so you adapt to it. I don't know how to tell you not to get nervous. I have some friends, you know, they can speak in front of 1 million people and they don't get nervous. I think that's genetic, honestly, or maybe I think it's genetic. That's my answer to that. But if you get nervous, then you will probably always get nervous. Just try to.
I'm nervous when I walk into the classroom, but as a teacher, I had to learn how to act because I'm actually a shy person. And because of the field that I'm in and the way that I got into education, I had to give tours and speak to a lot of people. So I had to just get over it. I was thrown into it. And I think my mentor did that on purpose so I can get over that feeling so I can start the network, because the only way you move up in this business is if you network. A chef instructor of mine said, if you're not nervous when you're on the line, if you guys don't know what the line is, that's like when you're in a restaurant and it's really cramped and it's a little itty bitty space and that's where all the cooking and stuff is happening. When you're on the line, if you're not nervous, that means you're not moving fast enough. Basically what she was saying was that you're supposed to be nervous. That's how you know that you're doing something right. If you're nervous, you're going to keep checking yourself to make sure that you're on point.
Well said. The only thing I would add to that, hi everybody, I'm Karen. Thanks for that presentation, Samuel. It was awesome. For me, I say embrace the nervousness. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it anyway. Like both Doris and Samuel said, ideally, you know, when you are nervous is when you are like living your life. It's when you're doing something that's meaningful. So embrace it and let the people know. The first time I did public speaking, nearly 10 years ago, and I was at a conference with around 75 people. It was a breakout room, so it was a smaller group, and I was so nervous. I almost told my partner I was going to go out. I just wasn't going to do it. I couldn't do it. I hated public speaking. I said, no, I can't. You do it. And she was like, how about you just come out and tell them how nervous you are? Just tell them. Just own it and say, look, you know, I'm excited to talk to you about this thing, but I'm so nervous because I don't know you people. I don't know if you're going to like me. Like, just say it. And I did. And they smiled. They warmed up to me. Like, the whole energy in the room shifted. And I was like, all right. I didn't burst into flames. We're going to get through this. And I got through it. And similarly with the folks in my group, if you remember on day 1, I told y'all I was scared of you. Like, I've never worked with kids before. I don't know if I can do this. And I said it out loud. Like, I'm scared. I was scared of y'all. And you all laughed at me. And it was great. And we kept it moving. So I say own it. Let the people know. And you'll see how they receive you. We've all been nervous at some point or another. We get it. So, and we still get nervous. I still get every demo I do. I don't know what it's going to be like. I still don't know who these people are half the time. So you never know. I still get nervous. And I'm having fun because, like Samuel said, I learned to turn the fear into excitement. I learned to start to experience those butterflies that I feel as instead of needing to run away from it, to run towards it, because that means I'm doing something I really want to do. And so I just keep moving towards the uncertainty of it and know that it's going to be a good time, because in the end I end up having a whole lot of fun. And so I encourage you to do the same.
Thanks, Karen.
You're welcome.
Samuel, so let's talk a little bit about branding, using social media to sell a product. So social media etiquette, some professionalism on the side of social media. Okay.
All right. So first, talk about social media etiquette in terms of like being professional with your social media. Now, you want to be careful with what you put out on social media, because every post that you post, it tells a story about you. Your social media platform gives you the ability to portray yourself in a very positive light. You know, some people think that this is bad, but you can make yourself look like $1 million on social media. You can make yourself look like, you know, you the president. You can make yourself look a lot further in life than you actually are. You can fake it until you make it. Now, as long as in your regular life, you are still keeping up with your schoolwork, you are still keeping up with the things that you need to keep up with in your everyday life, I see nothing wrong with portraying yourself as the ideal that you wish to be. So if you want to be a little Barack Obama Jr., then yeah, you know, post pictures of you in your suit, post pictures or videos of you speaking, you know, eloquently, you know, portray us, you know, you can paint your picture, and social media is a good way for you to get whatever message or whatever image of yourself that you want out into the world. So I say always post the best of whatever it is that you are and post whatever it is that you aspire to be. Understand that everything that you post, like I said before, tells a story about you. All right. So be careful of spontaneous posting. So, you know, you have an urge, or you're angry, you're upset, you just want to post something. Or if you're just a little bit too relaxed, you want to throw something up. Be careful and give some thought to everything that you're going to put out when it comes to, you know, your Facebook or your Instagram.
Great. Now, can you tell us a little bit about your business? How did you come up with the name of it, and what inspired you to go and do Better You, Better Society? What inspired you to do photography, and what inspired you to produce the Fat Buster program?
Okay. Well, I started, my business name is Better You, Better Society. I started it 4 years ago. Now, I got the name from just, honestly, it was a creed. It was something that I wanted to live by. It wasn't a business at first. For a few years, it was just something that I would tell myself, you know, better you, better society. Be the example that you want to see. Be the change you want to see in the world. I started saying that to myself when I was 19. I lost 100 pounds. So when I was 17, I broke my back. Over the next 2 years, I gained 100 pounds. I couldn't run. I couldn't walk fast. I couldn't play sports. So I just gained a whole lot of weight. At 19, I was with my friends and they teased me. They called me fat. And then I started to exercise. And while exercising, while, you know, disciplining myself with my diet, disciplining myself with, you know, exercise. And I also began to discipline myself with smoking weed and drinking and cursing and any other negative thing that you could name, or anything that I perceived as negative. And then I began to say, you know, better you, better society. That became my email address. And that was my email address for a few years. I got a job at Blink Fitness. I got fired from my job. And so I'm applying to other jobs. And then my dad told me that now was a good time for me to start my own business, because I had already went to school. I had my bachelor's degree in public health. So then I was like, you know what? All right, I will start doing personal training on the side. I started making more money than I was making at my job at the gym. And then it just kind of branched off from personal training to doing free workout classes at my local park. I started doing that because my best friend's mother died 3 months after she asked me to train her. We never worked out. I kind of took it a little personally, and I said, all right, you know what? I want to just take away the excuse. I was charging a lot for personal training, so this was something that I wanted to do for free. So this was my introduction into, I guess, community work. So now I'm doing personal training. I'm doing free fitness classes. A few months later, it was wintertime. I was with my best friend. We was getting ready to go to the club, and we realized it was like negative 20 degrees outside. So we went to the 99-cent store right before they closed, got some gloves and hats, M&Ms and wet wipes and socks and scarves. And then we made like 5 little care packages. We gave it out in the city. And then that turned into something that we did every Saturday. And then I incorporated that into my business. Year after that, I started doing like, you know, YouTube workout videos. And basically, I started to kind of, every year that went by, I started to add different aspects to my brand. Recently, I just started doing a 4-week online fat loss program. It's sort of like a P90X thing. I just released that because I gained 25 pounds at the beginning of the quarantine. So I started working out. I lost some weight. So I put it together as a program. And I told people, you know, do it with me. Just started promoting it. And it's actually been doing really well. So that's where that came about. So I guess you can say I have maybe about, I know everything is underneath the same umbrella, but everything is ran sort of like its own individual business. So with that, now we can segue into talking about branding. Now, when it comes to branding, if you want people to buy your weight loss program, or to buy your shirts that you sell, or to donate to your charity cause, or to book you to be a speaker, what you need is exposure. People need to know that you do whatever it is that you do. Now, I find that social media is a great place to start with that. You know, you want to post yourself doing what it is that you do, and post it in the best light possible, and post it as frequently as possible. Now, the reason why I think posting it frequently is beneficial is because, has anybody here ever had a friend on social media, or just somebody they don't really know like that, but you just see that they post all the time, and you probably never seen them in person? And then have you ever seen this person in person after watching them post so frequently? So usually when you see them, you've never met them before, but you kind of feel like you know them. They're a little significant to you. You know, it's kind of like a celebrity effect. You know, it's sort of like oh, snap, I know you. So that's why I feel like posting very frequently is kind of significant. Is it true that any kind of exposure is good exposure? I think that any kind of exposure can be used for a positive. You know, it can be used in a positive light. But, however, you never want to go against your character and your morals. I don't care what the potential paycheck might look like. I have a few examples in mind of people that have gotten famous doing questionable things, and because they did that questionable thing, now they're super famous, and now, you know, their net worth is super high. But I don't believe in sacrificing your character for a paycheck or for attention. So, you know, all exposure is good exposure as long as you're getting that exposure in a honorable way. The next thing when it comes to branding is you want to be creative. So for you guys, I know that you guys are going to be making a brand of pickles. So here are a few ideas of things that I would do, right? I would make videos of myself showing people how they can make their own pickles, or showing people how you can use my pickles with their favorite dish. You know, make it look nice, record it, you know, post it up. So you can see, oh, snap. Like, it would go something like this. Hey, guys, my name is Sam, and here's a great summer snack idea. You can take Sam's pickles and eat it with this chocolate. I know it's weird, but it tastes delicious. So little things like that. The next thing that you can do is you can start doing like a table talk, like, you know, Red Table Talk. You can kind of start up your own version of that, where you do interviews with other people about anything, honestly. You can even send out your pickles to people that are big on social media. You can, you know, ask them, you know, hey, if you don't mind, could you just like kind of like post yourself holding it in your story, or just do a post of yourself eating it and, you know, just talk about it for me. But the most important thing here is you just want to get it out there. You want to get it out there in a way so that people see it and it stands out to them. The next thing is, I don't know what you guys' budget is like, but every photo that you take, every video that you produce should be good. If you're using your phone, you know, take your time with it. Learn how to edit on your phone. Learn how to get good angles. Learn how to, you know, hold the camera steady. You can go on YouTube and look up how to record and edit a professional video on my iPhone or whatever kind of phone you have. Once again, if you guys have the money, or if you have generous parents or people in your life, you can do social media ads. So you can, you know, take a picture of your pickle and, You can promote it on Instagram for like $20 and 500 people will see it. So those are some ideas when it comes to branding.
Very. Thanks for that. Yeah, that was great. The only thing I would add for our students, I love that Samuel really pressed upon you the importance of practice, right? Practice with one another. You all have identified groups now, whether you're working in peers or not. You have groups of people that you've been connected to along with your instructor. So feel free to share with one another what it is you're going to present on before you present to us directly. And have fun. One of the big thing for me around marketing, because I tend to shy away from it too. I'm not big on social media, but it's really, at the end of the day, building your business, building your brand is all about relationships, right? Mm-hmm. And so the more you can get folks connected to who you are and your story, the better. So I would think about designing a story around your pickle, around your lesson, connecting it to who you are personally, why you chose this, why you like this, what your culture is, how this connects to how you cook at home, how you were taught about cooking. Like, talk to us, weave us a tale, and think about how you can infuse your own talents into this. Like, let's say talking on camera isn't really your forte, but you are a great artist. You love to draw. So think about how you can design your pickle label and actually use your creative talents that way. Suppose you like to sing or play an instrument or something. Think about creating a jingle for your pickle. Like, utilize all your skills, all your strengths, all the things that people around you for years have told you, oh my God, Melly, for instance, you are so good at drawing. Like, use that and let us see it. So that's all I would say. Utilize your strengths and speak to that and incorporate it in whatever way you can.
Cool. Thanks.
I like that. I like that. I think definitely be creative and
and be you. Let us see who you are.
Thank you so much, Samuel Emmanuel Dickerson II. I really appreciate your input. Thank you.
No problem. You're welcome. All right, everybody. Take care.
Have a good weekend, everybody.